Hey there, and welcome to The Cutest Little Thing. I am Andrea, and I'm so glad you have joined me for today's video. If you love thrift flips, home decor, upcycling, DIYs, and all of the things, then you are at the right place, and I'm so glad you are here today. If you are new to my channel, welcome, and if you have been with me before, welcome back. I have some awesome projects in store for you today, so we will get right to them. Let's get started. For this project, we are going to be using muslin fabric. I like to get my muslin fabric off of Amazon. You can buy it in bulk packs. I just took a pen and drew the shape of a candy corn onto my muslin fabric, and then I cut it out. And I then used that one sort of like my template, and you can kind of make it any size that you want, just all depending on the project and the look you are trying to go for. Then I used that one that I cut out and used it as my template to cut out some more because I was making several of these. So I just went ahead and cut out several, and you will need 2 of the candy corn fabrics for each candy corn. I also took some strips of that muslin fabric that I tore and put it into a cup of black coffee, no sugar or anything added, because I wanted to stain some. And I just sat that to the side while I worked on my candy corns. I lined the 2 pieces up together, and I like to start at the bottom, and I'm no sewer, so I do use the hot glue method. You can absolutely sew these if you would rather, but if not, hot glue works perfectly. But I start at the bottom and hot glue, and you just want to press where that glue will smear all around and you won't have any holes at the edge of your candy corn. And then I just go up both sides, both edges, but you want to leave your top open. You want to leave a hole there because we are going to be stuffing these. I do like to add a little bit of texture and weight. I like to use these dried pinto beans. I get the large 8-pound pack from my local Walmart. And don't quote me on it because I haven't bought any in a while, but I'm pretty sure it was $6 and some change the last time I bought this big pack. I put some of the dry beans in the bottom. You can kind of tell here how far up they go, and then I take some stuffing. You can use polyfill. You can grab an old throw pillow that you no longer use and cut it open. Use the stuffing out of it. Anywhere you can get stuffing. And also, if you want these more like a pillow and you don't want that weight or the texture in it, you can skip the dried beans. You don't have to put that in there. I just like to put it, it weights it down and helps it sort of sit up if you're going to be displaying these on a shelf or in a dough bowl or something like that. It helps it stand up just a bit. Another thing you could use if you didn't want to use the dried beans is like the beanbag filler would give it texture. And also the little craft pebbles you can get at the dollar store. You could use those. But you just continue stuffing until you get to the top of your piece, and you want to work in sections with your hot glue, putting a little bit at the time because your hot glue will dry quickly. So you want to work in sections, put a little dab of hot glue, press your seams together, and then put another little dab, press those seams together, and just repeat until you get your whole candy corn all closed up. And that's the look you get. Look how cute these are. And these are so fun to make. Now it's time to get our colors together. I kind of mixed colors to get what I was needing. I used pumpkin in the Waverly, but I mixed a little bit of this milk chocolate in the apple barrel to darken it or deepen it just a little bit. It was a little too bright for me. And then for my yellow color, I went with the Apple Barrel King's Gold. That was a little too bright, so I added some of the chestnut color. And that is in the Apple Barrel as well. Just a dab of that, and I kind of played around with these. Oh, and I did water my paint down because when you're painting on the fabric like this, it goes on much easier and much smoother if your paint is watery. If your paint is thick, it just doesn't seem to go on and spread as well. So it works much better to water it down just a little bit. And you can keep playing with your colors until you get the color you're trying to achieve. And now if you could absolutely go with those brighter colors, those brighter tones. I was going for a more primitive look, so I wanted to darken my colors just a little bit. And for my white, I'm using this beautiful cream color. This is the Dixie Belle color drop cloth. And I used it as is. I didn't mix anything in it. But I did water that chalk paint down just a little bit. And mix your paints up really well. And you're ready to start painting. I just took a regular paintbrush and I just brushed on that. I started with the orange color. And you can arrange your colors however you would like. This is just how I did mine. And you want to, I didn't really worry too much about the straight line because you can always go back and fix it later or paint over it with your second color if you get it kind of crooked or kind of wonky. And I weren't going for perfection here because I am going for more of that primitive look. And I just kind of brushed up as far as I thought my orange color needed to go. But then when I started with my yellowish, goldish color, I didn't quite meet the orange just yet because I was going to play around with it just to make sure my colors started and stopped where I was happy with. So I left a little gap between the orange and the yellow color to make sure. And once I got my yellowish color up high enough, as high as I wanted it to go, I realized that I did need to bring that orange color up just a tad. So I left room for that, but you can always paint over it. You know, there's really no way to mess this up. And it's just fun to play around with it and get it the way you're happy with. And now for the cream color, and the color of the muslin fabric was really close to the color I wanted, but I wanted it to look the same as far as with the paint finishes. It was going to give it a different look, so I definitely wanted to add that paint to the top of my candy corn as well. And I just brushed that third color on at the top. And I also didn't worry about full coverage. I didn't worry if there was a little bit of that muslin fabric still showing. I actually liked how that looked. It gave it more of a distressed look versus having full coverage on your candy corns. But again, if that's the look you're going for, then that is perfectly fine. I gave it a good dry with my heat tool just to be sure that paint was good and dry, and we are ready to embellish our candy corn. And here I'm just going through that process once again. I did decide I like the goldish yellowish color. I told y'all, you just play around with it and get it how you like it. There's no way you can mess it up because you can always go back over it and redo it. But I did decide I like the goldish yellowish color first at the bottom, then my orange color, and then my white color. So that is how I ended up doing the rest of these. And you may have joined me live on my Facebook page because I did do these live over there as well. But that is how I decided I liked it best. Now to embellish, I wanted to make a cute bow. I grabbed those fabric strips we had soaking in our black coffee, squeezed them out, gave them a dry, and I just took a strip of that and I simply tied it in a bow, just like you would tie a shoelace. And I got my little tails the same length, and I got those just how I wanted, trimmed off the excess. Just make sure your loops are the same size, and you want to pull it tight. And you can just cut off that excess where they'll hang as long as you would like. And I hot glued that on the left upper corner of the candy cane. I also took this Jubilee homespun fabric. Y'all, I love this stuff. You can order straight from their website, or you can also find it on Walmart's website as well as Amazon. And I just love this stuff. They've got it in all different colors and patterns. But I will get the jelly rolls and I will take and rip my fabric into strips. But I did the same thing with that ripped fabric. I tied a little simple loop bow and I hot glued that right on the corner I put my muslin bow down first and then put the little Jubilee fabric bow on top of that and kind of gave it a layered look. But you could also just do the muslin, or you could just do the Jubilee, or you could have reversed it and put the Jubilee on the bottom, however you would like. And I also just took some jute string and I put a dab of hot glue in the back just to hold it and get it started. And I wrapped it around a few times and then hot glued the little piece of the jute in the back of the candy corn where it stopped. And I thought that just added a sweet little touch. There's just so many ways you could embellish these. The possibilities are endless, and I just don't think you could go wrong because they're so cute no matter how you do them. I grabbed one of my cardboard tags. I get these off of Amazon, and I kind of just bent it and folded it and just creased it and gave it a more of an aged look. I got these little letter stamps from Hobby Lobby, and I am simply stamping the word yum on my tag. And now I did several of these, and I stamped different little sayings on each one. On one I stamped candy, and on one I stamped sweet, I think. But any little word would do. My tags weren't really big, so I was a little limited on what I would have loved to have stamped candy corn on there, but my tags weren't quite big enough. So I just thought these little sayings would be cute as well. I took my coffee grunge. If you're not familiar with coffee grunge and you want that recipe, just comment and I will gladly give it to you. But it's hot water, instant coffee, cinnamon, vanilla, and pumpkin spice seasoning. And I grunged up my tag using my coffee grunge mixture, and then I just kind of wiped away the excess. Put a dab of hot glue on the back of that tag, and I just hot glued it right down on the edge of my bow. And just like that, look how cute these are. And they're so cute to make a set of them and have them in a little grouping for your display. I also took that coffee grunge. Now you can leave as is. It is totally your preference, but y'all know I love old, grungy, vintage, primitive styles. So I did take that coffee grunge and I dabbed it all around the edge of my candy corn. I also kind of dry brushed it all over the fabric, and then in between each colors I kind of went along that line and just created that contrast and that dimension there. But again, if you do not like this look, you can skip this and just keep your colors more of the bright colors, and that is just as pretty. But if you're like me and you like that old look, that grungy look, coffee grunge is the perfect solution. And if you are not crazy about coffee grunge, you could also use some brown or antique wax. That would be perfect to grunge up your candy corn as well. And there's the look you get with that. You can also see that cinnamon on there, and you can add as much of that grunge or as little as you would like, just depending on the look you are going for. And here are our candy corn. There, that one on top of the scale, I did not grunge, so that way you can kind of see, you know, the difference in how they look, grunged or ungrunged. I love them both, but my preference is the grunged. But I hope y'all love these. I absolutely love them. They are so cute. Y'all let me know what you think. I cannot wait for y'all to see how cute this project turns out. I have these old fence boards. We had to do some fence repair on the fence in our backyard this year, so I saved the good of the fence, and I've got it in my little wood pile stash. So I grabbed a few of those pieces, and I just want to do a dry brushing technique on this. I want to still be able to see that those wood tones underneath, and this wood had previously been stained like a walnut, a dark brown color, but again, it is also faded. I love the nail holes, everything, all the imperfections. I just wanted to dry brush this chalk paint over, and this is the color Drop Cloth in the Dixie Belle chalk paint line. I love this color. It's a beautiful color. And to dry brush, you just want to put a little bit of paint on your brush. You can offload it a little bit, but you want to work really light-handedly going across your surface. And this wood is really rough, so it's easy to do, and that the roughness of that wood is just kind of grabbing that paint, that little bit of paint off of my brush. I do go ahead and do the sides and the top as well. Not worried about the bottom because these are going to sit upright and you just won't really see that part of the wood. Now, I have this cardstock. I have been cutting on it, so it's all cut up, and I have black chalk paint. This is Waverly in the color ink. And I just take my paintbrush and I just sort of paint on my cardstock, just a round oval shaped, different sizes, because what I'm doing, if you haven't guessed already, we're making little ghosts out of these little posts. And so I'm making them different sizes because we'll need eyes and a mouth. And after the paint dries, I will take my scissors and cut them out. And when I cut them out is when I'll kind of cut the shape, because some I made like rounder, some I made longer, and some I made like little faces with them. And the cardstock I do get off of Amazon, and any products I use in today's video, if you are interested in any of them, just please leave me a comment, and I do not mind a bit sharing a link with you or letting you know where something comes from. Now that I have all my face shapes cut out, I am ready to put them on our boards. And I just simply take my hot glue gun and put a little dab of hot glue on the back and press them down onto my piece, just making a little face. And you can make your little faces however you would like. And you can create their mouths. You can do a smiley face, a scary face, however you would like to do it. I just kind of did the simple version for mine to make my faces. And look how cute that looks. And just like that, we have cute little ghosts. And I do want to embellish with bows. I mean, they're really cute like this, but how cute would it be to have a little hair bow for the girl and a little bow tie for the boy? I am using my Jubilee homespun fabric. And I cut a little slit in the top, and then I tear the rest. And just tearing little strips. I have my bow dabber here. You put the little jute twine in, and then you just start layering in your pieces of fabric however you would like. No rhyme or reason here. I did choose the color that I liked out of my little jelly roll that I had there. And I can't remember the name of this jelly roll. I think it may just be neutral. It has cream colors in it, browns and blacks. And I just tie that all together with my jute string, cut away that excess. I did take a little button and embellish the center of my bow. And you just kind of work those fabric pieces all around. And somehow this one came untied, but I just quickly tied it back. And I put a dab of hot glue in the back and pressed it down on the top for her little bow. Isn't that cute? Now, I took another little piece of that muslin fabric, and I grabbed my ink pad and my letters, and I wanted to stamp the word boo on that little piece of fabric, and I just wanted to hot glue that piece of fabric right onto the post. I just thought it was a cute little touch. See how cute? And you can see how I cut that one's mouth. I did it a little bit of a different shape. And then I did another bow, same technique, same fabric with a button, and I hot glued that for his little bow tie. Now for him, I took one of those cardboard tags I get off of Amazon. I bent it up and creased it all up just to make it look a little old. And I took those same letters and the stamps and again stamped the word boo. And I took my Dixie Belle's Best Dang Wax in the color brown, and I used it to dirty up that tag just a little bit. I took a chippy brush and applied that wax and then just kind of rubbed it in with my finger. and hot glued it right at the base of his little bow tie. Now that is just so cute. I just love how these turned out. Now here I have a set of 3 that I did on a live on my Facebook page. You may have saw that. And these I did go a little heavier with my paint. I still dry brush, but I just added a little more paint. And I also took a safety pin. I made a little bow tag for the middle one, the tallest one, and I took a little safety pin, and it was all bright and shiny and silver, so I wanted to grunge it up a little bit. So I rubbed some Mod Podge all over it, and then I sprinkled cinnamon over that and dried it, and that just created like a faux rust over it. And I attached the little bow tag with that rusty safety pin, and I just thought that was a cute little touch for those. And just like that, these are done. This is just such a cute, simple little DIY. I did take another scrap piece of wood and I glued it to the base at the back just to help it stand up on its own. So I wanted to do the same thing. Now, I was just wanting to show you real quick, so I attached it with hot glue, but otherwise, I would have also used some wood glue to attach it. I like to use a little bit of wood glue for a better hold. There it is, the Gorilla Wood Glue. And also I like to use a little dab of hot glue for that instant hold as well. But that Gorilla Glue is going to give you a much better hold. But aren't these so cute? I just love these. If you don't have any old scrap wood or anything laying around, you can still make these using ceiling fan blades or cardboard or anything like that. I hope you are all enjoying today's video. If you like what you see so far and you haven't already, I hope that you will consider subscribing to my channel. Make sure you hit that notification bell where you can choose to get all notifications and you won't miss any future videos. Thanks so much for being here today. Now let's get back to the DIYs. One of my favorite things to do is take something that you would normally throw in the trash and take it and upcycle it, give it new life, and make it into beautiful home decor. That is what we are doing with this project. I took just jars. I keep some in my stash. I keep pasta jars, mason jars, jelly jars, pickle jars, any kind of jar. Now this one in particular, I was experimenting on a milk paint color, and I already coated this with a color of the white Sweet Pickins milk paint, but no worries, I'm just going in. I took my orange color and I painted it around the bottom of the jar, and now I'm taking my yellow color. I took King's Gold in the apple barrel and added just a tad of the chestnut color in the apple barrel and mixed those up for my yellow color. And I'm sorry, I was talking in the beginning, and the orange color is the color Pumpkin in the Waverly, and I added just a little bit of, was it milk chocolate, I'm pretty sure, in the apple barrel paint as well, just to darken it, tone it down just a tad. Y'all know how I like to darken my colors. I don't really like to use really bright colors, but you can, if you can just play with your colors and use, you know, whatever tone colors you like. And I'm just going around. As you can tell, we are mimicking a candy corn, and you can just kind of do your colors how you would like. And the lines where the colors meet, they don't have to be perfect. I did try to get them as straight as possible, but it's okay if they're a little crooked. It's not going to hurt a thing. And for my white, this is actually more of a cream color, and it's the color drop cloth in the Dixie Belle paint. And if you join me to make my little fabric candy corns, I'm pretty much using the same paint colors that I used for that project. And I just painted on that pretty cream color at the top. Now I have these cute little labels I purchased off of an Etsy shop. I will include these labels in my description. And if you do not see them there, if I forget to put them there, please comment and let me know if you are interested in these. I already printed them on muslin fabric. You can trick, I have a regular inkjet printer, and you can trick your printer into printing on fabric. I have a couple of YouTube videos with that tutorial, and I also have some videos over on my Facebook business page. So if you're interested in any of those videos, just let me know and I will get you a link for that. I cut out the label I want to use, and I just simply hot glue that label right onto my glass jar. I will say I did end up doing 2 coats of each paint color on my jar, and made sure that was good and dry before I attached that label. And you can just use regular hot glue to attach that, spread it out evenly, make sure it's good and straight. I did want to take, I have this burlap, I get it off of Amazon. It's a burlap ribbon, and it's almost a meshy material. I really love it a lot. It makes really cute bows. But I took that and I just hot glued it all the way around the top of the rim of my jar. I just went all the way around with it. I started it in the back so that the crease would be in the back once I got it all hot glued on. And I just trimmed that with my scissors and just pat it because I patted it with my scissors because that hot glue will come right through that ribbon and you'll burn your fingers, so you'll have to be careful for that. I did want to dirty and age up my jar just a bit, so I took my Dixie Belle's Best Dang Wax in the color brown. I took me a rough chippy brush. I was getting some glue strings. I had some glue strings on my jar, and I learned a little trick last week that you can use your hot tool or apply heat to your piece to help get rid of glue strings. So that definitely comes in handy when you're working on a project where you're using a lot of glue and those glue strings are everywhere like crazy. So that's a good little bit of information. But I'm just taking my brush, dabbing it into my wax, offloading it just a little bit, and I started going right around the bottom of my jar just to give it that dirty look where the jar sits. And then I took my brush and went right around where the colors meet each other, and I just wanted to enhance that line where the colors met each other on the jar, just to add a little bit of contrast and just to enhance that where the colors meet. I just thought that added a really cute touch. And then I took a smaller paintbrush and went right around that label just to deepen that around the label. And I did the same thing up around the top of my jar, right underneath where we applied that burlap ribbon. I applied that wax right there as well. Just rubbed it back and forth. You want to rub it in really, really good into your paint. And I finished going around that label on the other side as well, all the way around. After that, I sort of did a dry brushing technique all over the jar as well as over the label just a little bit. I didn't want to dirty up my label too much, but I didn't want my jar to be aged and dirty, old looking, and my label to be clean. So I wanted to age the label up as well. Here's the look we have now, and if you don't like that dirty aged look, you could just skip that step and maybe seal in your chalk paint with some clear wax or even another sealer of your choice. I'm ready to fill the jars now. I have this pretty orange florals with just a hint of green. I got these off of Amazon, and I just stuck a bunch in each jar. I thought it filled the jars nicely just to go ahead and stick a whole bunch in there. And then I also have some of this wheat, some dried wheat. I got it off of Amazon as well, and I just put 3 little stalks of wheat in each jar. I did cut them down because they were a little bit too tall for the jars. And I added that to all the jars. I ended up doing 4 jars total. I think these are super cute and a little grouping. You can display them on a shelf or on a table, or either create a little centerpiece with them. I took that same burlap ribbon that we wrapped the rims of the jars with, and I just simply tied a little bow with it, like a shoestring bow. I got my tails the length I wanted them for each bow, and I just trimmed away the excess. I took some lace and did the same thing, just made a little shoestring bow and got the tails the size that I wanted. I get this lace off of Amazon as well. It comes in a bulk pack, and it has different widths and little styles of this lace ribbon. I really love it a lot, and I use it in a lot of my projects. I wanted to layer up my bow, so I took the burlap bow first and I hot glued it onto sort of like the upper left corner of the label up at the top, and then I hot glued my lace bow right over my burlap bow. And see how that looks? I think it just looks so pretty, and that lace color goes perfectly with the white color or cream color we used on our jar. I just thought it all turned out and went together so cute. And I sort of put the bows in different places on each jar. On that one I put it in the middle, on one I put it on the other side. And just look how cute these are. These would have been jars that you would have just thrown in the trash or in the recycling bin. But instead you can kind of collect some. I'll collect them for a while, and then I will make them into decor. I hope you love these as much as I do. Don't forget, I am a retailer of the Sweet Pickins Milk Paint. You can contact me through my Facebook business page. All you do is send me a message to place your orders, and the color of the month is sweet potato. So you can receive 35% off of your order on that color. Get your orders in and take advantage of this discount while it's available. Y'all, this is such a cute project. I can't wait for y'all to see. So I have these light fixtures. They came off of a ceiling fan we were no longer using, and I kept these little light fixtures. There were 3 of them. It's already the perfect color, so no need to paint or anything like that. I want to draw a face on here, so I just took this marker that I had just to outline my eyes and my mouth. If you haven't guessed already, we're making another cute little ghost. So I just wanted to outline just to know where to paint. Doesn't have to be perfect. Now that I've got that, I'm going in with black chalk paint. This is Waverly in the color ink, and I just took a small little paintbrush, got me a little bit of paint on there, and just started filling in my face where I outlined my eyes and my mouth. And you just want to work carefully and be light-handed, not be heavy-handed, and it's best to just kind of start small because it's easy to make your eyes and your mouth bigger if you need them a little bit bigger, but it would have been more difficult if I got them too big and then had to remove paint and all of that. So, but I did one coat and then I let that dry, and I did go back and do a second coat just so it will be good and dark. And that's what we have. Look how cute. Now that is cute in itself. I went ahead and did the other 2 as well, but I want to add some little bows on here. I think I want to do 2 hair bows, and then 1 I will do a little bow tie. So I'm just taking strips of fabric. I have some Jubilee homespun fabric that I have ripped into pieces. And then I also have some burlap ribbon. And I just crisscrossed them over each other until I was happy with the size that I had. And then I tied it all together with jute string. You can cut away that excess string. And we just have a messy bow here. So these are super easy to make, and I love adding messy bows to my projects. And I did want to embellish with a button, so I found this little heart button in my stash, and I just hot glued that right to the center of my bow. And now we're ready just to hot glue that on the top of the little light fixture. And just like that, super cute. I did the same thing for the other ones, and I also did the same technique to make the little bow tie for my little boy ghost. I have these little flameless candles. I get a pack of them off of Amazon, and they are the battery operated candles. So I was thinking how perfect to put one of those under the cloche. And just like that, this project is done. How cute are these? And you can also find these in your local Goodwill or at your thrift store. I do keep seeing these when I'm out Goodwilling and thrifting, so just keep your eye out. If you don't have any in your stash, I'm sure you can find some. But look how cute these are. I just love them. Last but not least, we have another cute, quick, simple DIY. You take a paper towel holder and a foam pumpkin. These foam pumpkins you can get at Dollar Tree, but I did thrift this one for 39 cents. I took my kitchen knife and cut a little slit right there by the stem. If I could have removed that stem, I would have, and put that slit right in the middle, but it really wasn't a big deal, so I just went ahead and put it beside the stem. I put a little hot glue and slid it right over the paper towel holder. Now I have a white sheet. Any white sheet or fabric will do. I did thrift this white sheet, and it is clean, and I was just going to use it for crafts, but I cut my sheet the size that I needed and simply put it over my little pumpkin on the paper towel holder. Getting back to the paper towel holder, you can pick these up at your Dollar Tree, but I did thrift this one as well. I'll usually pick these up when I see them in the thrift store. They're usually only 99 cents, and they come in really handy with crafts and DIY projects. And I did put some hot glue at the top of that foam pumpkin just to secure it where it wouldn't slide off and things like that. I again took my cardstock and just cut out little eye shapes and painted those with black chalk paint. And I just hot glued those right onto my sheet and made the little eyes. I know y'all know where we are going with this. This is a craft or a project that I wanted to try. It's kind of like one of those viral DIYs that I just really wanted to try. So I was so excited, and it is super fun to make. And I just took a little pumpkin and made like 2 little creases in my sheet and hot glued that pumpkin right in between those 2 creases. And I know you can't see, and I'm sorry, but I'll get it turned around for you in just a sec. And look how cute. It's just a cute little ghost holding the pumpkin. How cute is that? It's done and ready to display with the other October Halloween decor. I just think it is so cute. Y'all let me know what you think of this, and let me know if you have tried this cute little DIY. Okay, friends, we have come to the end of today's video. I hope that you enjoyed all of these projects today. I enjoyed all of them. They were all so fun to make, and they were all definitely made on a budget. These are DIYs you can create last minute. They don't take long at all, and you can make most of them with items you probably already have laying around your home. Leave me a comment. Let me know your favorite from today. Let me know if you will be trying any of these or if you have already. I thought this would be the perfect video to come out this week with all of the October festivities going on this week. Thank you all for stopping by and watching. I hope you all have a blessed rest of your week, and I will see you on the next video. Bye for now.